Let's be real for a second. Have you ever gone super hard on a diet, only to feel like all your strength just vanishes, while that stubborn fat around your middle refuses to budge? It's incredibly frustrating, right? You're doing all the work, you're counting the calories, but you just end up feeling weak and totally drained.
Well, there's a fascinating reason for this whole struggle, and it really all comes down to one simple, kind of powerful idea. Your muscles are being forced to pay rent for your belly fat. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why this happens, and way more importantly, how you can totally flip the script. Okay, to really get what's going on, I want you to imagine your body is a giant house. And inside, there's this inner caretaker who's running the whole show. Now this caretaker has one single job: your survival. Your six-pack abs? Yeah, that's not even on his to-do list.
So the moment you start slashing your calories, this caretaker just sounds the alarm. To him, this isn't a diet. Oh no, this is a potential famine. He's basically running around screaming, "Emergency, red alert, we're not getting enough energy in. We've got to go into survival mode, like yesterday."
And what's his very first move? He starts turning off the lights to save power. And in your body, turning off the lights just means he's slamming the brakes on your metabolism. Now, from a survival standpoint, this is pure genius. But for your fat loss goals, it's an absolute catastrophe.
So, this brings us right to the heart of it, the rent. See, the caretaker's decisions aren't personal, they're not malicious, they are purely economic, based completely on energy costs.
Here's exactly how he sees things. Your muscle, that's like a flashy, expensive, high-maintenance luxury apartment. It burns a ton of energy, even when you're just kicking back on the couch. Your body fat, on the other hand, piff. That's just a cheap storage unit down in the basement. It costs almost nothing to keep around.
So when he thinks there's an energy crisis, which is your diet, what's the most logical business decision for him to make? He evicts the expensive tenant, your muscle, so he can afford to keep that cheap emergency storage locked away for what he thinks are tough times ahead. Your muscles are literally paying the price so your body can hold onto its fat. It's wild.
But hold on, don't worry, we are not going to let this caretaker outsmart us. The key isn't to fight him, but to reassure him. We just need to send some really clear signals that there's no famine and everything is A-okay.
And we do this by sending 3 crucial safety signals. First, we've got to prove that the apartment is occupied and absolutely essential. Second, we avoid a full-blown panic by not turning off all the power. And third, we give him the right building materials so he can renovate instead of demolish.
Now this first signal is by far the most powerful one. When you actually use your muscles through strength training, the caretaker totally takes notice. He's like, whoa, wait a second. This luxury apartment is clearly being used. We can't just get rid of it. You've basically just proven that your muscle is non-negotiable. The second signal is all about being reasonable. If your calorie deficit is just way too extreme, the caretaker panics and shuts the whole system down. But a moderate controlled deficit? That's the sweet spot. It keeps the fat-burning process humming along without triggering that emergency shutdown. You're reassuring him that there's still plenty of fuel coming in.
And the third signal? This one comes down to supplies. I want you to think of protein as the renovation crew for your muscles. When you give your body enough of it, you're giving the caretaker the raw materials he needs to repair and maintain the muscle tissue. So instead of a demolition job, he can actually do a renovation.
So what kind of building materials are we talking about? Well, foods like cottage cheese, skyr, or lean turkey breast are fantastic sources. And here's a little bonus for you. When you eat enough protein, your body actually burns more energy just processing it. It's a cool process called thermogenesis. So you're not just protecting your muscle, you're actually stoking your metabolism. So really what this all boils down to is this. Successful, sustainable fat loss isn't about waging a war against your body's instincts. It's about understanding them and actually working with them.
When you send these 3 signals of safety, you use your muscles, you keep a moderate deficit, and you supply plenty of protein, you convince your inner caretaker to stop using your muscles as rent money. He'll finally feel secure enough to start clearing out that emergency storage in the basement, your unwanted body fat.
And so, as we wrap this up, I'm just going to leave you with one final thought to chew on. Based on everything we've just talked about, take a second and think about your own approach. Right now, what signal are you sending your body? Is it a signal of panic, or is it a signal of safety?